So this is hot off the press, hot off the press. So these types of transactions were mentioned when they talked about notifiable transactions in the budget originally. But it's taken them a long time. Remember I said, mid-June, these rules all came into effect. And here we are November 1st, and it took 5 months for them to publish the notifiable transactions. But these are them. And one of them was left off that was originally mentioned, which had to do with manipulating CCP status. And they dealt with that by changing the law. So they don't need that now. So I'm not going to go into detail on these. Each one of them can be fairly complicated, tell you the truth, but I just want to highlight them to everyone. So first one is what they call a straddle loss creation transaction using a partnership. And that's just all about, and we'll get into that with GAR a little bit, that's just having gains in one period, loss in another. Certain 21-year trust planning. There's a number of plans out there that try to defer the 21-year deemed disposition for trusts. And they give a list. It has to do with other trusts and non-resident entities and different things. Third one is manipulating bankruptcy status for debt forgiveness. So debt forgiveness rules do not apply in a bankruptcy, so people were playing games there. The next one is, this is very technical, but anyways, reliance on 256.1 to avoid deemed acquisition of control. And this is basically a situation, as you know, if there's an acquisition of control of a company with losses, there's rules about there has to be in the same or similar business and restrictions. There's sort of some funny ways where instead of acquiring the loss company, you basically acquire the gain company in almost like a reverse takeover. We won't go through it, but if you run into a problem like that, we can chat. And the last one is arrangements to avoid thin cap rules or non-resident withholding tax. So if a Canadian company owes money to a related foreign entity, there's rules about interest expense. And there were things going on to avoid that. So you'd stick in a few intermediary companies to avoid the thin cap and the withholding tax. So all of those, you can do them, by the way. Every one of these, theoretically, you can do, but you have to tell the government about it, and then they're going to disallow it. Because they clearly don't want these kinds of transactions. But what they're saying is, instead of them having to go find it, you have to tell them about it.